Afternoon class, Warren here. Was not able to make it due to prior obligations, but I still wanted to be able to present my part of the speech in some way. And since I'm not there in human form, you guys are just gonna have to settle with the video me. So, in regards to Mr. Kagami's delivery method, the method he used during the speech was impromptu because the points he was trying to make were in regards to the topics being discussed at that point in time. So, for example, when they were discussing the Boko Haram, he was clearly going off of what President, however, Basanya, whatever he said his name was, he was saying to go off of what President Basanya says. So that clearly indicates that he was speaking in the now and he was speaking in the present about the topics that they were discussing at the moment. So that, and impromptu is speaking like off the top or like from the heart. So, and you can clearly tell he was passionate about the issues they were discussing at the time. So that's what gave me an impression that the speech was impromptu. And for the second factor, the tone that was used during his speech, I believe it came across as soft-spoken, but it was powerful with the sprinkle of humor, because what they were talking about was a very serious issue, but I feel like he wanted to keep the audience engaged. So, he threw in a joke here and there saying that how I can't speak on certain things because I'm not on the panel sitting there with the former leaders, which gave everybody a giggle. So I felt like that right there was able to engage everybody back into the topic, the ones that were probably, losing sight of the topic or issue or whatever. And also, it gave the impression that he was passionate about the issues being discussed while also speaking with clarity. So when he was speaking very slowly, but also like very distinctly. You can understand exactly what he was talking about, and you can feel the passion in his voice. And for the last factor, the movement, Kagami's movement was very animated during his speech, using a lot of hand gestures. And he also made a lot of direct eye contact to prove that he was speaking with conviction. And his hand movements were similar to those of former President Barack Obama. Because if you remember, during Obama's speeches, Obama was very keen with using his hand movements. He was always, doing something like this or pointing at something he was talking about. And Kagami did the same thing. For example, when he was talking about, I watched this thing on the television, he was pointing at a screen to indicate that he's talking about a television screen, so people, the audience around him, can understand exactly what he's talking about. Maybe if some people aren't following him and he's pointing at the certain things that he's talking about, it will help them better to understand the topic being discussed. And also it allows for him to be taken more seriously, because it shows the audience around him that he understands what he's talking about, and he's being very direct and distinct by using those hand gestures. So yeah, that's all I gotta say, really. Enjoy the rest of the class, guys.